On YouTube. So today, as promised, I wanted to do my Clemson Florida State preview. So this will be my first of the three big games. Next I will do Oklahoma State, TCU, and then I will do LSU and Alabama to finish it off. I'm going to try to get the other two done tomorrow. I said I would probably do one per day, maybe a little bit earlier, but I'm going to try to make them all done by Tuesday, tomorrow. So go ahead and start. So basically what I'm going to do is just outline what each team has to do to win, and then, actually make my prediction. So what Clemson has to do to win, first they have to pull away early. So, they let Florida State hang around last year when Sean McGuire was at quarterback, and it ended up costing them. They did not win the game. Florida State ended up winning the game, went on to an undefeated season until they got just completely whopped by the by the Oregon Ducks in the first round of the college football playoff. So, yes, they do have to pull away early. They have to get a sizable lead to make sure that whoever's at quarterback for Florida State on Saturday cannot lead a comeback. Two, they need to be well prepared for both Eric Golson and Sean McGuire. I'm not 100% sure who's starting right now. I think it's still going to be Golson. Nothing's been announced for Sean McGuire, but he did look very good last week against Syracuse, and he has played against Clemson before. So I don't know if Eric Golson ever played against Clemson with Notre Dame, but I think that either way they need to be well prepared for both. Both are big threats at quarterback. Both have shown a tendency to be a little bit inconsistent. Granted, Sean McGuire hasn't had much of a chance over his career, but either way, they need to be well prepared for either the throwing arm of Sean McGuire or the dual threat of Eric Golson. And then the third one is stop Dalvin Cook, the most obvious one. So Florida State's biggest weapon on offense by far is Dalvin Cook. I believe he is coming back this weekend after missing the Syracuse game. And if they can stop Dalvin Cook, then they pretty much stop Florida State's offense. Clemson's defense has been pretty rock solid this year, aside from that NC State game last weekend. And, I think that's just because NC State's a dangerous team sometimes against teams like Clemson. So if they can do all those three, then I think they will not only win, but win big. So move on to Florida State. So they did look good last weekend against Syracuse, and I do think that they have a legit shot to win this game. So what they have to do to win first is make Deshaun Watson turnover happy. So if they can make Deshaun Watson start turning the ball over like he can do. He's been really good the last few games, but he started off the season not great statistically. And if, Florida State can force 2 or 3 picks, maybe get a fumble or two, then, the turnover margin, I think the turnover margin is a big thing in this game. I think it'll be a higher scoring game. But if they can get Deshaun Watson to be turnover happy and take advantage of some of those opportunities in the first half when they tend to be a little bit slower, then I do think that they will have a much better shot of winning the game. So 2 is consistent play at QB. So whether it is Golson or McGuire, whoever starts, if one gets benched, I don't know. They need consistent play out of one of them. They need Sean McGuire, if he starts to play like he did last week, or Everett Golson to start, or if he starts to, not be as inconsistent as he's been this season, look the way he did against Louisville. So I think that if either one, I think that whoever starts, I honestly think they have a better shot with Sean McGuire. That's just me. He has experience playing against Clemson last year, and experienced that heartbreaking defeat. He was thrown in at a real rough, he didn't experience the heartbreaking defeat. What am I saying? Sean McGuire they were able to get the win last year. Clemson had the heartbreaking defeat. Sean McGuire did play last year, didn't play fantastic, but it was able to experience the game. Granted, it was at home this year. It is at Memorial Stadium for Clemson. But either way, they need consistent play out of the QB. I would say anything more than 1 interception is not going to cut it. Probably 2 or 3 touchdowns. You need to take some of the load off of Dalvin Cook. And then 3 is have at least a 10 to 14 point lead in the fourth quarter. So this could be heading in at the beginning, anything like that. I'd say a 10 to 14 point lead. Obviously at the end, no shit, but I'd say anywhere in between the 5 to 10 minute mark. If they've got a 10 to 14 point lead, then the defense can go into lockdown mode. Florida State's been a much better team in the second half this year than they have in the first half, and if they can go into the fourth quarter with a lead, then that's a very good step for them. Clemson hasn't really experienced much of playing from behind this year. If anything, it's been a shootout, and they were able to pull away in the end. But yeah, so my actual pick for this game is Clemson. I think that they'll end up with maybe a 14, 17-point win, honestly. Florida State looked good last week, but I don't think they're going to look very good against Clemson. Clemson's been pretty good against good teams this year. I mean, just what they did to Miami was really impressive to me. The fact that it's at home for them, too, is a big deal. They're a very good team at home. And yeah, so that is my pick. I will come back tomorrow, like I said, with the Oklahoma State TCU pick and probably the LSU Bama pick as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah.